Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. A little different today, probably a shorter video than most, but we're going to try something out that I've been wanting to try for a while because I want to find out if it works, and that is stripping paint from hardware using a Crock-Pot. Alright, so picked this up at Walmart. 20 bucks. I mean, I probably could have went to the thrift store and got one for $5, but at least I know this one's going to work. And so, of course, if you got an older one that you know still works, hey, you might want to use that. Get yourself a new one for cooking, because once you've done this, you probably don't want to switch back and do your pot roast on Sunday night. But they say on the internet that you can strip paint by putting your parts, where'd it go? Here we go. By putting your painted parts in a crock pot. We're going to test this theory. We're going to make us some door hinge soup. So, need our ingredients: painted hardware, some water, seasoning, Dawn dish soap, salt and pepper, and my favorite, the happiest spice in the world, paprika! Yay!
Greetings from Fairfield. We are Richard and Kendra, and we are restoring this cool old Victorian house. We found this old Queen Anne for sale on the internet and decided to buy it. So we moved from the West Coast to the cornfields of Iowa. So join us as we explore and restore this 1896 Victorian mansion.
Hey, greetings from Fairfield. Welcome back to the channel. You're just in time for breakfast.
What's cooking good looking?
Let's see if this worked. Let that sit in the crock pot overnight. And look at that. Look at that. It comes right off. A little hot. Wow, look at that. That's just falling off of there. It almost looks like copper. Might just be like brass. That's cool though. That's just falling right off of there. Nice. Let's check it out. There's a date there. 1895. Is that? Ooh. Yeah. How about that? Wow, that's gonna look nice, all cleaned up. Let's see how the other ones did. A little stinky though. Probably don't want to use this again. Oh, that comes off. All right, so I wanted to see if that glue will come off of this, because I'd like to reuse these. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That was like a hard cement. That just fell right off of there. Look at that. There you go. That'll make reusing that tile much easier. Holy cow. Just let that sit in the crock pot overnight? Wow. The internet was right. The internet was right. Who would have thought that? This one was a hard one. Ouch. Oh, look at this one. Wow, look at that. Paint's just falling out of there. Wow. That paint just came off. Why would anybody paint this? That is so weird. Look at the detail on that. That is so cool. You know, we'll clean these up a little more. We'll throw them in the tumbler. Give them a little rumbly tumbly. What else we got in here? Oh, here's a little latch. Ouch. Ooh, that's hot. But yeah, look at that. That paint just comes right off. Probably get these rinsed off and cleaned. Like I said, we'll throw them in the tumbler. You can see how shiny that is, even coming through all that paint. Comes right off. I think I got one more piece in here. And come here. Hot. This was caked in paint. So, yeah, still hot. Yeah, it's coming right off. That's just coming right off. And the wheel moves. That wheel wasn't turning before. It had so much paint on it. That wheel wouldn't even roll. Look at that. Wow. That is crazy. That is crazy. All right. Definitely get yourself a $20 Crock-Pot from Walmart and pop your so you know that could come in handy for a lot of things. Tiny little parts. Just throw them in the Crock-Pot on low overnight. I did. It was just water. I did shoot a little bit of dish soap in there. I think it kind of took off some of the grease and grime on some of the back sides because those were nice and clean too. But the tile, wow, that glue, if anybody knows, like that's hard stuff. And I mean, there might be some chemicals or something that help break that down, but just water soaking overnight came right off. We can reuse these. And these guys, we're going to polish these guys up in the tumbler. Let that sit overnight. And some crushed walnut, I think is what I got. We'll see how well that turns out. Get the rest of this paint off of this piece. Got a lot of moving parts here, so probably hit that with a toothbrush to get some of that stuff out. Little bristle brush. Probably get the rest of that off of there. But man, those are going to look fantastic. So yeah, definitely works. That is a go. Crock-Pot cooking. Now let's have breakfast. All right, well, next we got to get rid of this paint residue that was sort of left on there. And shout out to Victorian House, who recently posted removing paint off of a painted marble mantle that they had. And so I'll drop their link down in the description there. That was a great video, guys. Never would have thought Dawn Power Wash for stripping paint. I always thought it was just for dirty dishes and oily ducks, but turns out they use that on paint. So we're gonna give this a go. Ooh, foamy. All right, well, we'll just let that sit there for a minute. Try this one. This is the heavy duty power wash. A lot more foamy than that than the regular one. So we'll let that sit on there for 5 minutes, and we'll give it a rinse. See what we got. All right. Well, it's been a couple of minutes, so let's see what we got. You saw how dirty that was. It's only been sitting on there just a couple of minutes. Wow, look at that. There you go. Almost has a Japan looking finish to it. Put that there. Not bad. Ta-da! It still had a little bit of paint in the corners there. It couldn't quite get in there. It's still soft, I just can't. There we go. Ta-da! There you go. Ain't no paint left on that. And this still had a little bit of paint on it because of all the pivoting parts. So I'm not sure if we're going to need to dump that, put that in there a second time, or if this will be enough. So let's see. We'll let Dawn Power Wash do its thing, and then yeah, see that dirt's already coming off of there just from handling it. Yeah, let's just start scrubbing it. Yeah, look at that. That paint's still just falling off of there. It's been out of the Crock-Pot. See what I'm doing here. It's super dirty. So that power wash is getting rid of the rest of the dirt and grime like lickety split. The paint's still just falling off of there. Ta-da! Do have a couple of stubborn spots here though, but some of it is still trapped underneath this latch, and that don't come apart really. A little stiffer, little brass brush. You got paint down inside that. There we go. Ta-da! Ta-da! That's almost all of it. You know how hard that would have been with paint stripper? Holy cow. Not to mention, I couldn't have used it with my hands like this. It would have just been a big old mess. There it is. Ta-da! Look at that. That's beautiful. All right. Still a little stiff. Oh, there, I was turning it the wrong way. Yeah, and as you turn it, still a little bit more in there. It's loose. There you go. Go down and get yourself a Crock-Pot so you can strip paint in your sleep. So if you're wondering, does that Crock-Pot method really work? I can positively say that method works. So most of this paint was already off. This was just mostly, it just left kind of, it was just dirty. Let that sit on there for a minute. Wow, look at that. Stuff is amazing. Amazing. All right. You know, it look really cool on this. This is, for those not familiar, these are the pulley weights for our windows. Open and close the windows. Had so much paint on them, couldn't roll that Couldn't even roll that. Put some new sash cords on there and we'll be reworking those windows. But this dries up. We'll do a little dry brush. We're going to do a little on this face. We're going to do a little dry brush of some Rub and Buff Antique Gold. That'd look really nice because this is just kind of gunmetal gray. Nothing fancy. But we're also going to be trying that technique on the radiator, which can't wait to share that because that looks really cool. Matter of fact, here, we're going to show you that, and then we'll go take a look at our radiator. All right, so here's a radiator I did a little experiment on where, haven't cleaned this at all, we're going to hit this with Dawn Power Wash as well. It'll clean out all that dirt and debris, and then we hit a dry brush real lightly with a foam brush with Rub and Buff, and just to bring out those highlights just a touch, so we still get the patina, but it looks so much better. We're going to give that treatment to our wheel and do the same thing on this surface. That's going to look fantastic. Of course, before we do that, we got to get that paint stripped off that radiator. Let's go take a look at that. All right, so next up, we'll be giving this the same treatment. We get all of the rest of this paint out, and we'll do that dry brush of that gold Rub and Buff. But that'll be great for next week's video, but I think we're going to need a bigger crock pot.